Cappy. I hope that you are happy. I know we have our traditions, don't we? I've actually already drank my coffee today, so you've arrived in a bit late. And the beep truck has actually been and gone, so I don't know. Maybe you're late for something, running late for something today. I'm not sure. This is the second reading I've done for you. I may do a Libra and post both readings, and you can pick and choose which ones are yours. Just, I don't know if the energy shifted or if maybe I didn't get it quite right with that first reading, but I'm going to go again, and this one feels like I'm hearing more proper, and that's not what I was going to say. It's more proper. Capricorn. It's more Capricorn. It's very, very proper. Where do I start? I'll start with breakfast at Tiffany's. I know, Capricorn, you'll say that we've nothing in common. No common ground to start from, and we're falling apart. Breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue Something came through. It's a song about a relationship that one person feels is kind of crumbling. They think the other person's lost interest. But there's this very sweet chorus. What about breakfast at Tiffany's? It's like a small thing. It's like this small thing that they've kind of got in common. I kind of liked it. I did kind of like it. I love Audrey Hepburn. I know her movies are not perhaps the most entertaining in like a modern day. If you compare it to a modern day movie that's all bright and flashy, and I think script writing and filmmaking has come a long way since when those movies were made, but I think they have a very simple kind of charm to them. I do love a good Audrey Hepburn movie when I'm in the mood. I really like she's like a princess, and I can't think what it's called now. I like Funny Face, the one where she's in a bookstore. And I can see so many scenes from the movie. I can't think of the life of me, the name of it. All I can remember is she's putting her hand in the mouth of this statue. She's like a princess, and she kind of escapes from the castle, and she goes out and has this great night in the city with this guy. And you have to put your hand in this statue, and the scare that is going to like bite them or something. So I don't know, it's a really cute movie. But Breakfast at Tiffany's, the scenes that it was specifically showing me from that movie as I was kind of tuning into the energies were the scene where they're being very playful and they're wearing the masks, and the scene at the end, that kind of iconic cat scene where they're in the taxi, and they do have this kind of relationship as well where it's kind of like a will they won't they thing. Clearly they have a connection and they clearly have feelings for each other, and she's all at the end, she's like, I'm going to go and marry the count. And he jumps in the taxi with her, and I think they do end up together in that movie, right? In my head they do anyway, because I'm an old romantic. I'm like, even if the movie ends with it like they don't end up together, I'm like, yeah, they do. My brain carries on going, and it's like, oh, do you remember when they actually said, oh no, like actually that was a mistake, let's actually get together and get married and have 20 babies. I'm a bit soppy. So will they, won't they? Perhaps a bit chalk and cheese, salt and pepper kind of thing going on there. Because the song that I specifically channeled, it came through. I mean, I didn't specifically channel it for you, but I feel like it is for you. As I was kind of falling asleep last night, this song came through. I haven't heard it for ages, but it's How Can I Be Sure by Gloria Estefan. How can I be sure in a world that's constantly changing? How can I be sure where I stand with you? So I think it's this kind of thing of like, I don't know where I stand with somebody. Are we falling apart? Is this going somewhere? This kind of thing. How can I be sure whenever I am away from you, my alibi. Sorry, I'm getting really into it. It's a song my best friend in high school loved. Gloria Estefan. She was such a Estefan of Gloria Estefan, they just showed me something else which I'll get to in a minute. yeah, keep showing me things. Right, hang on. I'm trying to say that there's this thing about high school coming through. Sagittarius also had this weird high school friendship thing that came through that was reminding me of this really good friend of mine who used to make me laugh until I peed. Like, like my stomach would hurt from laughing so much. You know, like when you can't breathe, it's like, please just give me a second to regain my composure. I'm gonna die here of laughter. That kind of person. You know, that kind of person that you just have that bond with, where it's like I can share anything with you. You know, you see right through me, like it says in that Breakfast at Tiffany's song. So there could be something like that going on for you. But again, this how can I be sure? It's like I don't know where I stand with you. The two things that they showed me two of her music videos. One of them was from Will Smith's Miami. I don't know how many people know that there's a version of that song with Gloria Estefan in. And sorry, it's just like the memories of like dancing with my best friend in high school. And there's I think actually the bit, do you know that's the connection? I think the bit that's in Will Smith's Miami, this little segment of Gloria Estefan that's in there. She's on the stage at the end, you know, where they have the little party on the water. I think the sample that they've taken there is from Everlasting Love. Yeah. Open up your eyes, then you'll realize, here I stand with my everlasting love. And it's a load of drag queens in that video. It's like a really fun party video. So there could be something there for somebody. Everlasting love. I'm sorry, I used to belt those songs out with my friends, so I can't help it. The songs just want to come out. So you're gonna have to probably put up with my singing quite a lot in this video. I'm just making a note of that. Everlasting Love and Miami. So all the songs that come through for you will be down in that description box down below. So right, we had this song, How Can I Be Sure, Whenever I, by Gloria Estefan. And I'm sorry, I'm really hyper. I don't know what this is. What is it with your energy? Because when I was coming into your reading, I had so many like little things going wrong. Like my daughter's a bit poorly, so I had to ring school and like call in sick for her. It's kind of upset my plans because I had something to go and do and now I can't do that. And then like I had to kind of clear the floor to do the reading, and I'm building wardrobes. I've got stuff everywhere. It's a whole thing. So I don't know if there's this kind of thing for you where it's like you just feel like you've woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You've got a lot of little things that are bugging you that you have to get through. I don't know if that's kind of your energy, but then as soon as I'm going into this, it's like back at high school with my best friend, like belting out Gloria Estefan. Yeah, I don't know. There's something could be there with those like the contrasts of practical matters, things that you have to do, responsibilities that you have as an adult, and this need for that kind of like friendship where you just get to be really silly with someone and let off steam. So yeah, anyway, rewind. How Can I Be Sure by Gloria Estefan. How can you be sure, Capricorn? I think they gave me an answer because immediately, because I kind of said, how can I be sure? They showed me sunflower seeds, which is a very specific thing. I can see sunflower seeds, like you know, the kind of like long and kind of like whitish with a black bit on, right? Or vice versa. And then it was kind of like, who eats sunflower seeds? So then that took me to X-Files and Fox Mulder, and I had to Google it to make sure that it was sunflower seeds, but it was. Yeah, so Fox Mulder, X-Files, the truth is out there, sunflower seeds. Maybe someone eats sunflower seeds, I don't know. Make of that what you will. Now they're giving me a song by Catatonia. It's just another case for Mulder and Scully. Hang on, I'm trying to get a bit more of it. It's playing, I just can't hear it. No, I can hear it playing, but I can't quite get any more of the lyrics. It's just things are getting strange, so I can't read your mind. Okay, again, making a note of that song. It'll go in the description box down below. Mulder and Scully, Catatonia. Okay, so sunflower seeds then. Maybe somebody eats sunflower seeds, maybe somebody is growing sunflowers. Sunflowers, I love when they come up in the tarot because they're a symbol of loyalty. They show on the Sun card, I believe, and the Queen of Wands card. This is to show that the Queen of Wands is very, very confident, she's very magnetic, she's very sexually attractive, but she's loyal. You know, she knows what she wants and she's committed to it. So that could be something for somebody there as well. The sunflower seeds obviously grow and follow the direction of the sun. The sun card in the tarot is freedom and it's expansion and it's clarity. So you could have, if there's some ambiguity of where you stand in a relationship, I think you could get the clarity and get your answers possibly. They also showed me kind of, that was all came through last night, and then this morning as I was setting up your reading and looking back at my notes and I looked at sunflower seeds, I remember that I used to, is that my cat? I used to feed sunflower seeds to my hamster, Hammy the hamster, when I was little. Yeah, so something about a hamster, maybe you have a hamster, you feed them sunflower seeds, I don't know. All right. So I asked for a clarification. I asked for another song for you, and I randomized and I got an advert, but I think the advert was giving me the song because they gave me All I Ever. Now I don't know what the song was. It was, I don't even know what the advert was. I feel like it was like something like Top Gear, because it was like, you know, the old presenters of Top Gear. I think it may have been Richard Hammond. So in my head, not really paying attention to the advert, I was like, Richard Hammond, Top Gear. But the song was, it felt like the song in the advert was the song that they wanted me to take. So I had to like look up the lyrics and try and get it. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was All I Ever Wanted by Basshunter. Now I don't know that song, I don't know that band very well, but I think that's the song that they wanted to give you. So I don't know if that means something to you or not. Then when a song played, it gave me Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis. Now there's something to do with, now I am from Manchester, and my connection with the song Don't Look Back in Anger, one of the things it makes me think of, as well as just my high school experience, is Don't Look Back in Anger. When the, how do I explain this? You have Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis, and the first song that came through for you in the other reading, which I may or may not post, was Positions by Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande and Oasis together, these two songs coming out for you, Capricorn, could mean that you have some sort of connection to the bombing that happened in Manchester at the Ariana Grande concert. I've just gone very emotional. When that happened, the community came together. The bee is our symbol in Manchester, talking about hard work and working together and progress. And a lot of people got the bee tattoo, and a lot of people almost immediately after this horrible thing happened to children, we all started singing Don't Look Back in Anger. You know, we know that vengeance isn't a good thing. We know that we have to understand why people do the things they do. We have to look for answers. We need to prevent these things from happening again. But there's something beautiful about that. Don't look back in anger, because that harms us as a community. Those feelings of hatred, resentment, vengeance, it's a negative cycle. It's a negative pattern, and we're better than that. We're better than that. So this song by a band from Manchester, Don't Look Back in Anger, became a bit of an anthem that people were singing after that atrocity. So yeah, with Ariana Grande and Oasis coming through as your songs, there could be some sort of connection there for you, whether it's, you know, the same principle, the same philosophy that could be applied to something else in your life. You know, perhaps that's something to think about there. To lighten the note a bit, to lighten the note a bit, I when Positions played in the other reading, by Ariana Grande. You know, maybe some of you Scorpios, why did I say Scorpio? That's interesting as well. Maybe some of you Capricorns are just feeling really good right now, you know, feeling like you look good, you feel good, you're in the mood, you know, switching out positions. You could be maybe changing career or something as well, switching out positions. Or it's to do with the bedroom, because Positions is on my playlist. It's on my list of like songs that randomize. What isn't on my list of like songs is it 3435, which if you know what that song's about, you know. I think they were trying to get me to this because I was sat there listening to Positions and I was like, oh, I wonder if that's one of the songs that Ariana Grande worked with Taylor Parks on. Taylor Parks is a singer-songwriter, and she works sometimes with Ariana Grande and writes some of her songs. So in my head I'm like, oh, I wonder if that was a Taylor Parks song. I know that she did some songs on that album. I think she appears in the music video. I think it's of Positions, but I looked it up and she didn't write Positions, but she did write 3435. So I was like, so as I'm thinking this, oh, I wonder if that's a Taylor Parks song. The next song that randomized was a Taylor Parks song. It was What Can I Say? What can I say? What can I say? You put me in the mood. So, yeah, I think the combination of Ariana Grande and Oasis points me to that specific event. Positions and Taylor Parks brings me to the song 3435, which isn't on my playlist, but I think that's their way of getting that song. So I don't know what you're up to, Capricorn, but take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. So finally, with the intuitive stuff that's coming through and the song messages, as I was kind of finishing my meditation, setting up the cards, another song came through, and it was Pavarotti, It's Now or Never, Give It to Me, which I always know because it was an advert that played a lot. Maybe this could be something with adverts. Maybe somebody works in advertising, because we keep getting this advert business. There was a Cornetto advert, which, so whenever I hear that song, It's Now or Never, I always think of the Cornetto advert, which is delicious ice cream from Italy. So, yeah, I don't know what that is. But ice cream came through for somebody. I just can't remember who it was. If I look back at my notes, maybe I can spot it. Thank you for being patient with me. I'm so annoying. Oh! Somebody else had a Taylor Parks song as well. I don't know who it was. Might have been Libra. I don't have a note to say which star sign it was. I've just got my stuff. Wait, who had ice cream? Just give me a second. I'm going to look it up because it may be important to somebody. It was Aries. For this set of readings. So I don't know if somebody's dealing with an Aries or they have Aries in the chart. But yeah, ice cream came through for Aries as well. So could be a connection there. Maybe not. Maybe it's just warm. Maybe a lot of us are eating ice cream right now, you know. So that is it for the intuitive messages. Let's go into the cards, shall we? Again, I don't know why I feel so silly. It's like, maybe it's like all work and no play make Cappy a little bit crazy, right? Maybe it's like you start to feel a bit cooped up and a bit wacky. I'm switching out positions for you, Cappy. I'm a bit uncomfortable. So excuse me that there's a bit of a shadow here of my legs. Right, okay. Cappy. What do we have for Cappy, please? For today, I'm actually recording this on Thursday morning. Okay. No, this ain't go again. All right. Chatty McLarry's. Happy? Okay. The tear on the underline there. Okay. Are you crying, Cappy? I'm trying to make you happy, not sad. The desert. And are things getting a bit dry for you, Cappy? Is that what it is? And the Starborn. That's a very beautiful card. I don't know if you identify as a starseed. You know, that's something you can definitely look up and look into, see if that fits you or not. Perhaps you're born to stardom. I don't know. We'll have a read of the books and see what it says. So let's go to the desert first, because the starseed definitely sounds like more fun. So let's get the boring practical stuff done, and then we can have the fun card. Yeah, I don't know what you're up to, but I just read the XXX as Triple X, and with that Ariana Grande album that's coming through, I just you know what, you live your best life, Caps. Right, okay. I'm sorry, guys. The drought. I mean, it's been locked down, you know, it's hard to meet people. The drought, the wasteland, the badlands. Ooh, badlands, that sounds more fun. The desert leaves us disorientated, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity. Lack of clarity, there you go. So I don't know if some of you will be a relationship, others of you it's just like, maybe it's like, don't know where your life's taking you don't know what direction to take, maybe feeling quite directionless. It could be career, you know, it could be a lot of things. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. We are thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. That's kind of what I was picking up on you, that kind of like all work and no play kind of thing of you know how I was saying everything was going a bit wrong for me this morning. There was loads of little niggly things that I had to deal with, loads of little chores and, you know, just little things, and it was a bit like, ugh, can things just not be easy? And then when I got into your reading, it suddenly got really fun. So it could just be, you know, really longing to get together with friends, that kind of thing, you know, to have a good laugh, to let loose for a while, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through it. If you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing that you will someday reach water again, water symbolizing emotions as well, by the way, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright, and its darks are terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside, I'm sorry, I'm getting Leo as well for some of you. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes' call surrounds you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, weary traveller. When light, surreal, strange, unexpected visions and silence. So that's light, right? This is light, surreal, strange, unexpected visions and silence. So Kim Kranz, the author of this deck, says that's light aspects. When dark, drying, deadening, disorientating and isolating. So there could be something to do with perspective there. It did come out as in the reverse, which is drying, deadening and disorientating and isolating, but perhaps with a change of perspective, you can embrace the time that you're spending in the desert. And, you know, if this is like depression for you or something like that, obviously go and get help. I'm not trying to make light of that. I understand that it's a very, very difficult thing to go to, but coming from somebody who has experienced difficult periods of my life, you can absolutely change your own perspective, and it's up to you to do that. Outside sources can't do that for you, and that's tough love. But from my experience, my own personal experience, it is possible. It's you have to kind of rewire your own brain a little bit, find out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and sometimes external circumstances can really challenge us. You know, sometimes we can feel trapped. Sometimes we can feel like we have no options and we're absolutely fecking miserable. And life keeps throwing those curveballs and we think there's no end to it, and it sucks. But you can feel what you feel and then pick yourself up and keep going. You can, one thing I used to do, and obviously I'm not saying don't get help, get professional help, get medication if you need it, get different medication if you need to change it, you know, get support from family and friends, talk it out, call up advice lines, anything that works for you. Some of the things that work for me, okay, I'm going to give you a bit of a list because you may need it. Doing yoga, you have to force yourself to do it because you don't feel like doing it. You feel like lying there in bed and sulking, but you get your ass out of bed, you put on Yoga with Adrian and you do it. And I tell you what, every time I do it, I feel better afterwards. Going for walks works for me. Again, it may work for you, it may not work for you, but you literally have to kick your own ass and get yourself motivated. And I know it's so difficult, but that it's just that initial, like, the way I look at it is, right, when I've been in dark places, it's like, I'm going to swear, I already feel like shit. I already feel like I'm at rock bottom. I feel like crap. So I may as well do something. It's like I hate tidying. But I'll tidy when I feel like shit because I'm like, oh, I already feel like shit. I may as well do something that makes me fucking miserable. You know? It's like, well, you know, I may as well be productive in my misery. So yeah, so it's you just have to force yourself sometimes. So to me, okay, and again, different things work for different people. What I'm saying may not work for you, and I understand that, and I'm not trying to shame you or bully you into anything or anything like that. I'm just trying to help with my own experience. Yoga with Adrian, she's brilliant. Look her up on YouTube. Going for walks, especially in woodland and nature. You can hear the birds outside my window now. Very helpful to me. Maybe put on a birdsong playlist and meditate. That could work for you as well. Being out in nature, just literally putting headphones in, putting songs on, going walking. Sometimes I have a big cry and I feel like everybody's looking at me and thinking I'm a weirdo. Don't care. Listen, I'm going through something. I'm just gonna keep myself to myself and listen to my music and walk. It's fine. You know, you can get over that. Listening to music. There's certain songs that I cannot help but dance to, and once I get moving and once I dance, those endorphins kick in, a bit like with yoga, a bit like with walking, and your mood picks up. A way to stabilize your mood is to, and you know, you don't want to hear this when you know, sometimes it's not what you want to hear. Stabilizing your mood. I am so much better after kicking my habit of drinking. I do drink from time to time, but now I drink in a much more healthy way because it's like with friends if I'm out. Very rarely as well. It's like not even once a week anymore. A couple of times a month. So not drinking stabilizes your mood. Alcohol can actually, you can look this up. It can block certain things getting, like certain chemicals from being received by your brain. Again, I'm not a doctor, but this is what I've kind of looked up. It can prevent certain nutritional things that your brain needs from getting there. So you may be, if you drink too much, it could create low levels of certain vitamins and minerals, which actually can make you depressed. They stop you thinking clearly. Excuse me a second. My daughter just bobbed in the room. It's if you are dependent on something like alcohol or even weed, which I know is legalized, it has THC, which again can mess up your kind of chemicals in your brain. A variety of different substances that we take that are not the best for us. Smoking as well, you know, absolutely dulls your mental process. So again, it's difficult to kick a habit, but it is possible. I've done it myself. You know, people I know have done it. It is possible. You have to believe in yourself. You have to do it for yourself because you want to be happy, not because anyone else is telling you to, not because I'm telling you to, because you want to be happy. So this is not going to be the story for everybody. Some of you are like, I'm fine, I don't even drink. Brilliant. Well done you. For those of you that are struggling, I may be telling you answers that you don't want to hear right now, because I know, especially when I was struggling, when I was stressed and I was not happy, I used alcohol to numb. It was like a stress relief at the end of the day. You know, it stops me from overthinking. I can just zone out a little bit. But ultimately, it was a perpetual cycle of not being able to cope as well with all the things that were thrown in front of me because I was drinking, because my brain was being dulled by the effects of the alcohol. Even when I was sober the next day, when the initial effects had worn off, I was still not over the long term, I was not getting those vitamins and minerals that my body and my brain needed to be able to function better. Even things like my face blindness is better now, you know, now that I'm being healthier. Yeah, there you go. Take it or leave it, Cappies. For others of you, it could be this isn't you. This is somebody that you know that you're dealing with, and you're trying to say to them, look, you need to make healthier choices here. You know, I can see when you're the outsider, it's easy for you to be able to see what the answer is. As the person who's experiencing it, it's much harder to really have that cognitive awareness of your own situation. So Cappy, you could be the person supporting someone else through something, whether that is mental health issues, or it's some kind of addiction or codependency on something. You could be the person saying to this person, look, go for the walk, do the yoga, stop drinking, you know, whatever it is. Perhaps somebody else is not quite keeping up with you on you know, in terms of coping mechanisms, perhaps. Again, coping mechanisms, that's Taylor Parks again. That's a new album. Right. Go deeper. Frank Herbert's June, Barry Lopez's Desert Notes, Edward Abbey's Desert Solitaire. When in the throes of the desert, contemplate the following. You are not alone. You have more supplies than you think. Yeah, you have more supplies with you than you think. And water, emotions, is very near. Water is emotions. It's also like what you need, right? Your body needs water. So it could be that you're starved of emotional connections. You could be starved of, you know, that kind of friendship that I was talking about in Sagittarius's reading, where you have that kind of bond with someone where they just accept you and you just laugh. It could be that for you. The desert is alive and pulsing with energy despite its desolate appearance. Turn towards it rather than away from it. So if you're avoiding looking at something, this is your chance to really look at it and really face those kind of demons in the darkness, and see them for what they are. You know, shine the light on the shadows. So, yeah, challenging reading already for you, Caps. Let's get to the happy, shall we? Happy. Cappy, I want you to be happy. The starborn, the divine child, Cappies. The star child, the destined. Are you destined for stardom? Are you destined? Some Cappies are born great, others have greatness thrust upon them. An elusive, that's Shakespeare, that's Twelfth Night, if you didn't get that one. An elusive yet radiant aspect of the self, the starborn archetype points to the cosmic spark of light that arrives with every being at birth. The moment the newborn crowns, okay, lovely, whether vaginally or surgically, thanks for that, thanks for that, Kim Kranz. The royal stars above are said to constellate in a unique shape that maps out our path in the world. The idea of destiny is controversial, yet the starborn naturally feels a sense of destination and purpose, aiming itself towards a future that is beyond the mundane. Could be something to do with children, child walking past. When this card appears, travel back to your birth story for clues. I mean, it is to do with children. It's to do with you when you were a child, right? It's funny that I was getting this childhood stuff. Maybe something that happened in your high school years. When this card appears, travel back to your birth story for clues and insight. What did you desire when you were young? Practice seeing your life from a mythic point of view rather than as a series of logistics. Read the story of the three fates and envision yourself born under the stars with a unique destiny. I can't remember who had it now, but someone had in their reading this thing about tying the threads together. It was they had the Three of Pentacles, which had this kind of weaving a tapestry, and then they had the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, which was kind of like these seeds weaving together to make one plant. So I can't remember who that came through for, but if you've watched a few of the readings, you may remember that. That may be something for you there. A light, trusting, vibrant, aimed. When dark, feelings of misalignment, loss of longing. Go deeper, tripping over joy by Hafez, Shakespeare's star-crossed lovers. When this card appears, don't be surprised if you receive a surge of desire for a long-lost dream, one you haven't visited since childhood. Let this desire shake you up. Have your chart read, study your constellated shape, ask questions. What does the process conjure in you, faith or mistrust? What would happen if you saw the galaxy as your ally? What would happen if you saw the galaxy as your ally? Maybe you have a view of... They're giving me Travis. Why does it always rain on me? Is it because I lied when I was 17? Perhaps you feel like the universe is mistreating you right now. You've got that kind of like, why are you doing this to me thing? Is it some kind of bad karma that I'm receiving for something that I did in the past? Maybe it is. Maybe you need to work through it. You know, it's saying face the desert. You know, deal with those feelings of guilt, deal with those feelings of pain, those feelings of remorse from the past. Look at them clearly, own them. This is part of my story. This is part of who I am. And you know what? Even though I did something in the past that I regret, I've learned a bloody lesson from it, and I'm not doing that again. I'm a better person now because I made those mistakes in the past. Part of your destiny, you know, the universe teaching you those lessons. I'm sorry, Capricorn, you're ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the planet of tough love. It's the patriarchal father of the solar system. You know, they're going to teach you those tough lessons, but you're going to learn from them. You're going to become a stronger person because of those experiences, because of mistakes you've made, because of things in your life that weren't fair. It sucks, but it's part of your path, it's part of your destiny, and it's teaching lessons that lead you into that emperor or empress energy. And you have to be glass half full, and you have to be focused on where you're going, not where you've been. I feel like there could be something like that for you. Sorry, I'm giving you a lecture. It's that Saturn energy. I'm sorry. It happens. I'm on your side, right? I keep telling you, Cappy, I want you to be happy. All right, we're getting there. I said we're getting there, but what was actually put into my head before I said it was, we're going to get you there. So for those of you who have had a dry spell, we're going to get you there. You're going to be switching out positions in no time. You just watch. Right, okay. All over my readings at the moment. Indiana Jones, taking those opportunities, knowing what he wants. King of Wands there. Right. I'm just going to have a second to tune back in before I pull cards. 1 second. Okay. In that... Oh, my voice has gone funny. In that moment of just remeditating, reconnecting with Cappy energy, I made the decision that I am going to put that Virgo reading live. That Virgo... Why am I saying Virgo reading? I know why I'm saying Virgo reading. That other Cappy reading live. I'm going to allow it to go up at 12. Even though I felt like there was some trolling going on in there, in that reading, it's going to go up. I am also going to upload this reading because there was a connection in there where, I can't remember it very clearly, but there was something to do with being in a dark place, but very, very focused on your dreams and wishes on the star card. So yeah, that reading's going up because it's the same kind of thing coming through. I used a different deck, so I want that message to go up, even though it was a bloody awkward reading. But I'm getting, as I was retuning in there, they were saying to me, the way it came through, it was, I don't know if I can get the emphasis right, but they said, the sweetest man, like this kind of thing, which was very much a thing that came through for Virgo as well. They had the sweetest thing by you too, and I heard the most wonderful man in the world. So you could have a Virgo in your chart, you could be connecting with a Virgo, the sweetest man. So that's for somebody. Who is Cappy, please, in this reading? Who is Cappy in this reading? Oh, that is too many cards. Hello. Devil in reverse. Okay. Some of you may be part of the LGBTQT plus community. Don't have to be. Okay, it's just the depiction on this card. All right, I normally take one card per person, but this is telling me a story. You are turning away from temptation. You are turning your back on things that don't work for you. You're turning your back on things that have kept you chained, kept you small, held you back. Things like addictions, things like negative thought patterns. Some of you have done or are doing that shadow work that I was talking about over here, where you face the things from your past that you suppress, that you refuse to look at, but the things that hold you back, or that manifest as negative behavior patterns as adults because we don't deal with the things that we should have dealt with from the past. You know, this is telling me that the Judgment card is telling me that you've reassessed something, you've done the work, you've closed out a chapter of your life, and you're going into something brand new. I feel like the Judgment card here is saying there's a revival of the self. You know, this is Uma Thurman, is it, in Kill Bill? So I think some of you have faced some kind of demon that has been haunting you from the past. Could be in terms of desire or addictions or obsessions or something that you haven't been able to get out of your head. Interestingly, the song that played for me when I woke up was Prisoner by Dua Lipa and Miley Cyrus. So I'll add that to your list as well. That could be for you. Prisoner, Miley, and who did I say? Dua Lipa. Which are two women. Okay, 2 men, 2 women. So yeah, I feel like you're making a judgment call to face something, to cut it out, to draw a line under that. It's kind of Libra Scorpio energy. Feels like bringing in your own tower moment. It feels like Queen of Swordsing, or justice carding, or tower momenting your own life. Cutting things out, standing up, doing what has to be done, facing something, drawing a line under that, and then completely having a complete rebirth. Some of you could be transgender. Some of you could be transitioning, making the decision, facing up to telling your parents, you know, that facing your parents and saying, look, I've been living a lie. This is who I am now. I'm going to live for me now. I'm making the choice to follow my heart. The Lover's card used to be called the choice. Some people see it as a choice of partners, a choice of love. Could be that for you. I see it as choosing the heart. Choosing. Both of these cards talk about hearing a call from again with the Starborn. Having a higher calling, having a sense of destiny, of purpose, and it comes from within. It comes from really knowing who you are and what speaks to your soul, right? So normally the depiction on the Lover's card is it's Archangel Gabriel, who I ask, right? I feel a bit shy about this because I've never been particularly religious. I kind of believe in all religions as one big thing. So I definitely grew up with a bit of a Christian community, right? I went to a school where we sang hymns and things like this. We recited the Lord's Prayer. And I think you kind of, you do sometimes like push away from what you are brought up with for a while, especially as a teenager. So I went through the phase of I'm a scientific thinker. I don't believe in God and all this kind of stuff. And I've kind of circled back around into thinking, do you know what? Everything exists. This and that are true. It's all part of one big giant universal machine with lots of different cogs in that are all interconnected. So I have this concept of everything is one. I don't know why I'm going on about that. You could be dealing with these kind of things as well, especially in terms of sexuality and religion, right? Traditions and the way that you've been brought up as what is right and what is wrong, you know, breaking those chains. It feels like you're coming into your own power. I can't remember where I was going with that previous point, so I'll just leave that for now. It feels like you're stepping into your own power. This feels like stepping into your own power, right? Not being the wife anymore, the nameless wife, right? Both of these are quite empowered feminine energy, you know, and I read this card as, the way I personally read it, as exploring my own Queen of Wands energy is to be able to say, I like my own body, I think I look good, I'm going to wear what I want to wear, I'm going to be confident, and, you know, not worry about what other people think of that, whether other people think that they can somehow own me because they're attracted to me, that people think that I'm, you know, this, that, and the other because of what I wear. I've released my cares about what people think of me when I choose to wear what makes me feel good. Okay, very much embracing my own sexuality at the moment. That's kind of what I've been doing throughout COVID, is this kind of Queen of Wands work, which links to me, again, Queen of Wands and the Sun card, links to me about confidence and ownership of your own sexuality and desires. So very, very positive, right? Not the devil. I mean, obviously, because Salma Hayek in that film is, there's a bit of a change there. So there could be some rethinking for you of gender roles, a rethinking for you of what it means to be sexually attracted to people, you know, and to give your power away to others, to not be, it's like not being chained to your desires, not beating yourself up for things that you've done, for people that you're attracted to. Really kind of, this is like the rebirth energy. This is the butterfly coming out of the cocoon. This is the snake shedding its skin. This is it feels like a huge makeover, right? It feels like a huge makeover of mind, body, and soul, based on what speaks to your soul, what you feel called to. You know, as I say, I think Archangel Gabriel is on both of these cards normally in the depiction of the usual tarot, the Rider-Waite system. So they're giving me Game of Thrones. I am Khaleesi, breaker of chains, mother of dragons. If you are, some of you are a female, getting very empowered, right? Breaking those chains, becoming more confident, being your best self, switching positions. Others of you, there's an excuse me a second. That was my son coming to tell me that he's made himself a cup of tea, and it was really, really nice. Talking about empowerment, right? You know, he's becoming more independent and capable. I was kind of, you know, thinking about my son. He's Pisces, so he's got this very gentle nature to him. You know, sensitive as a water sign. And I was going to kind of say, it feels like an empowerment of the feminine. So even if you identify as masculine, that yin energy inside you feels more empowered now. The yin energy is normally the more passive of the yin yang. Yang is the one that takes action, it takes the lead. This feels like almost like a twist or a rebalance of feminine and masculine energies. I feel like there could be some kind of questioning of traditional gender roles. Could be something to do with like perhaps a father who plays that housekeeper role, you know, who stay-at-home father, perhaps cooking, cleaning, feeding the kids, telling them bedtime stories, kind of thing, and really owning that and finding the value in that. Or you know, a female who perhaps is a little bit more of a breadwinner, you know, a little bit more ambitious. It could be something playing out for you in terms of that. But it feels like this is kind of, it feels almost like there's some kind of role reversal. Perhaps it's been one way for you and it's changing into the other, or vice versa. But it's actually teaching you about both sides, if that makes sense. It's like maybe you were the breadwinner and now you're suddenly becoming very maternal, or maybe you were the kind of the homebody, and suddenly you're going out and having this career and actually finding that you're quite good at it. So it feels like there could be something with that for you as well. All right. I haven't taken 3 cards for anyone else, but that is really making a lot of sense to me. Just let go of any kind of need for vengeance as well. Don't look back in anger, right? Because this card has an element of that Scorpio vengeance energy. It's like, do what needs to be done, but don't hold on to ideas of like revenge. It doesn't serve you. It actually keeps you trapped in that desert space. It holds you back, because it's a lesson you need to learn how to let go, how to resolve underlying resentments, how to because that keeps you chained. When you have this need for vengeance, when you have this need to teach someone a lesson, or it's actually keeping you small and chained to that energy. It's toxic. It's basically, if you imagine like one of these chains, it's keeping you chained to that thing that has hurt you, that's angered you, that's kept you small. It's actually keeping an energetic link there. So you have to, she's holding that sword, right? Breaker of chains. She's setting something free, and I think it's to do with your own thoughts and feelings, freeing yourself from the need for payback, or the need to see karma dealt. Releasing yourself from that. Okay. Who is affecting Capricorn energy at the moment, please? Who are the major players in this story for Cappy? Who else, please? Anyone else? Last chance. Anyone else, please, for Cappy? The sun, told you. Sunflowers, there you go. Sunflowers, sunshine, freedom, clarity. The sun is coming in for you. You are destined for greatness. You are destined for the good feelings, the good days. It's not always going to be the difficult periods, but you get to this place more quickly when you do that shadow work and learn those lessons. There's the King of Wands. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. This feels like you. This feels like more of your own story. Aquarius energy, Virgo energy, Leo energy. It could be different aspects of the self, but I'm going to read it as, so you can take it that way if it resonates that way. I'm going to read it as the question that I asked, which is people around you. Okay, the Hangman in reverse. This person has if this person has had some sort of hold up, if this person's felt trapped, if they've had the need to be very, very patient over a long time, if this person's been self-sacrificing, they're no longer doing that. They've gained a new perspective. They've really done a lot of thinking, a lot of looking at things from different angles, and they're seeing something possibly from your perspective. If you felt like this person didn't understand you, and you've really kind of stood up to this energy and said, look, this is the way it is, I think they're now, because perhaps you've communicated, you've shown them what it's like to be you, I think that they're understanding better now where you're coming from. By the way, the characters on these are obviously from movies. I don't know what this is. This is The Matrix, this is Indiana Jones. It may be that these movies mean something to you. Perhaps they make you think of a certain person. Perhaps a character in these movies makes you think of that person. Perhaps you've joked about these movies with someone. It's up to you to use your intuition to figure out who's who in this situation. The Knight of Coins is the slowest moving knight in the tarot, but they are moving. They are very, very practical. They're very fastidious. I feel like that word was put into my head. It's not a word I'd normally use. They really do cross the T's and dot the I's. They make very slow and steady progress, but it's actually part of their success to do that, because they really take the time to kind of look at the fine details. So somebody around you could be bringing some sort of offering to you. It could be very, very slow, but there is movement here. Again, with this Hangman in reverse, if you felt like things were at a standstill, this shows me that things are moving. So we'll find out more about this person. Again, I got that, what did it say? The sweet man, the sweetest man. Could be this, because that came through for Virgo as well. King of Wands. I keep seeing the King of Wands and I keep seeing the Queen of Pentacles. They keep coming through for me throughout the readings. Indiana Jones and Lara Croft is depicted on the Queen of Pentacles card, which is Capricorn actually. I got an intuitive message through for you actually. You started this all off, taking the lead in the last set of readings. I got a message for you that was, I was stood at a set of traffic lights and the lights were taking ages to change. I was like, am I even going to be able to cross this road? But then I thought, do you know what this is? This is the universe holding me in place, not letting me move, because there's something that they need to tell me. So I started paying attention. And as soon as I did, the lights started to change, and a car that was meant to slow down because it was on amber, which is like prepared to stop, sped up and got through just as it was changing to red. So normally that really annoys me. I think it's really cheeky. I think it's dangerous. You know, there's a lot of children in this area. It's a busy crossing, a dangerous road. So, you know, normally that really kind of irritates me, because I think that's so selfish and it's not what you're meant to do. It's not following the rules, right? But the message that came through for you, or for whoever it was for, was there's a very narrow window of opportunity for you to take action. So ever since I got that message, Indiana Jones and Lara Croft, I have been seeing everywhere constantly. It keeps on coming up in conversation. I'm seeing adverts, I'm seeing references to the old games and movies. I've heard that there's new games and movies being made. Constantly hearing about it and seeing references to these characters. So I feel like these energies are really impacting a lot of people at the moment. Could be that there's some kind of opportunity. You feel like, you know, you're going to have to be impulsive to take action on this, or this is somebody around you. So the King of Wands is very mature in terms of, like the Queen of Wands that I was talking about before, this is Leo energy. It's somebody who perhaps has made a lot of mistakes in the past, but they've learned from them. They really know what works for them and what doesn't work for them. They know what they want, and they will go and get it, and they will communicate that. Very, very confident, very self-assured, very much a natural leader, very magnetic, very charismatic. They really draw people to them. Quite sociable as well, you know, they're good in social situations. So this is somebody really taking the lead in their own life. They've matured. They've maybe experimented a little bit in the past, maybe, you know, kissed a lot of frogs in the past, and maybe made some mistakes, maybe broke some hearts. They're giving me Heartbreaker by Mariah Carey. But they know what they want now. You know, they're matured. They're sure of themselves. So no longer messing around, no longer playing around. They're going out and getting what they want, and they're getting the job done. I like the King of Wands, especially in the upright. In the reverse, not so much. I'm just going to make a note of Heartbreaker. Mariah. Okay. Give me your love. Give me your love. Give me your love. Give me your love. Right. Let's find out more. This is going to be a long reading. Sorry, guys. It's an hour already, and I've not even pulled the tarot to clarify. Okay. Cappy, do you have a lot of time on your hands? Don't think so. I think Capricorn tends to be quite busy. So if you're sticking here and you're still here at this point in the reading, I really appreciate your time. I know that your time is precious, Cappy. I know that you've got a lot of responsibilities, right? So hopefully, if you're still here at this point of the reading, then it's actually speaking to you. It's meant to be a general reading, so there should be a lot of stuff in here for everybody, but it could just be that this is like a strong message that somebody needs to hear right now. Tell me about the Lovers, Judgment and Devil in reverse for Cappy. Yeah, oh, look at that. Told you, butterfly. So you are undergoing some kind of metamorphosis of the soul, a metamorphosis of character, really wanting to spread your wings and show your true colors, right? Sorry, they're just giving me like dragon. They keep giving me like the Game of Thrones reference as well. So whatever you've been going through, whatever, it feels like you've been doing a little bit of hermit energy again with that Virgo, doing the soul searching, going within, figuring things out, trying to perhaps separate yourself from outside voices, really figuring out who you are and what you want, really figuring out what is your King of Wands energy, right? Or Queen of Wands energy. Coming out of this very, you know, this desert space, these icky emotions, these hard feelings to look at, coming out of this emotional soul goop, and coming out as something new and vibrant and beautiful and ready. However, you feel very trapped right now, mentally, possibly, because it's swords energy. So you can see that this person is not actually currently able to unfurl their wings because of all these kind of very sharp swords around them that threaten those kind of newly formed vulnerable wings. So you, for some reason, you're in this process, you inside are coming out very strong, really face those demons, right? Very, very strong, but there's something going on externally that you feel is preventing you from really kind of showing what you've got. Why are you trapped? For some reason, you're unable to take action. You're unable to communicate. The sword is down. Feels like there's some kind of tie-up with communication or action. There's something keeping you trapped, but you have to trust. I'm just noticing this snake. You know, she's got this snake around her shoulders. And there's this snake around, you know, the infinity symbol. There's some kind of constant in your life. It feels heavy. Sorry, I'm feeling the weight of the python on my shoulders. That would be a very, very heavy snake to hold. You know, you wouldn't be able to hold it up like that for very long. Okay, we're getting into interlude territory. She's doing the best she can with it. She's working with it. She's utilizing it. You know, it's like, this is a heavy snake. Perhaps I don't want to be. They're showing me, I keep getting Wayne's World through as well. The end of Wayne's World, where Tia Carrera is, she's doing that music video on the kind of waterfall, and she's holding the snake, and she's just really finding it hard to kind of hold it. So it feels like, almost like at the end, she kind of like dumps that snake onto the guy who's been trying to chat her up. She's like, here, take it, kind of thing. So it feels like trapped by some kind of heavy burden. Which is preventing you from communicating and taking action. Right, specifically, what does the snake represent? What is the burden? Father of Cups, Scorpio energy. Could be, maybe your dad's a Scorpio. Could be expectations of a father. Could also be Pisces. I also read the Father of Cups as Pisces, but I'm getting Scorpio today. Black Swan. Perhaps the film Black Swan or the book Black Swan means something to you. I'm not familiar enough with it to understand the reference, but perhaps you do. They're giving me Swan Song by Lana Del Rey. Making a note. Look. Hearing Taking Flight. So this could be someone around you who is preventing you from speaking your truth, from taking action, from really revealing who you are on the inside. It could be that you are, because the Father of Cups can sometimes represent some kind of counselor, like somebody giving you emotional guidance, a therapist. Could be that you're going through some kind of therapy at the moment, which is, you know, who's saying it's not the right time for you yet, you're still emotionally vulnerable, wait until you feel a little bit more like firmer, a little bit stronger. perhaps in terms of emotions. You could be holding back yourself. If the Father of Cups represents you, the Father of Cups has very deep emotions, very emotionally intuitive, very compassionate. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to get. I can't think of the words for what I'm trying to get. You know, the sort of people who they're so emotionally intuitive that sometimes they can pick up on the emotions of others. You know, like they take on other people's emotions on themselves. There could be something like that going on for you. But the Father of Cups, that again, like the King of Wands, very, very mature, very emotionally mature. They have a really good handle on their emotions, and they hold back. The thing is, with them having the control over their emotions, they hold back. They know when it's time to communicate and when it's not. So there is this kind of self-restriction in terms of the emotion, expressing the emotions around what this is. You could be holding yourself back from communicating something because perhaps of anxiety, of mental fears. All right. Wait, hang on. What is the fear and anxiety? Why is the fear and anxiety? What's that? Imbalance. It could be emotional imbalance or mental imbalance. Perhaps you feel out of balance at the moment. Perhaps you feel like, you know, if you've undergone some kind of big change of your own identity, that's going to feel, it's so transformative. It's such a big metamorphosis that you're going to feel like it feels like you're in that kind of tender stage of really kind of like figuring out your own identity, figuring out your own soul, how your own soul speaks to you, and releasing that conditioning of the past. So it feels like you're still in that kind of tentative transformation stage where you've not, you know, you just feel a little bit like between worlds right now, or like a little bit unsure of your footing. You don't want to misstep, you don't want to hurt yourself and put yourself back. You know, if you've been going through, maybe it's like maybe some of you have been doing like a counseling program or like a 12-step program or something like that, and it's like you're making progress and you're feeling really good, you feel like you're doing well, but you are aware that it's still those early stages and you've not quite got that solid ground down yet. So you're a bit scared that you are going to, you know, if something comes in and hits you, it could easily put you back a few steps, and you don't want that. Son of Cups, yeah, you don't want to go back to that immature emotional energy. You want to stay in that strong Cups energy. So yeah, that's making sense. I'm starting to get a bit of a headache. The Hangman. Who is the Hangman for Capricorn? Who is the Hangman for Capricorn? What does this represent? So just getting it the way that it came out, the way that I acknowledged the cards. Oh my God, look at these cards. This is one of the most difficult images for me to look at in the whole of the tarot, in all the decks that I have. This is a painful card. Oh my goodness. Cappy, I don't know if this is you or somebody that you're dealing with, but oh my goodness. That Scorpio energy's back. Okay. Oh, I feel sick. Who is this? Oh, this is heavy, but there's healing here. So I'm going to talk about this in terms of the connection that you have with this person. There is this thing about turning something on its head, seeing it from a different perspective, right? No longer self-sacrificing in terms of whatever this connection is. it's coming through. It starts with the Hierophant. This could be somebody who was a teacher for you, a role model, somebody who gave you guidance. It could be a father. It could be somebody that you looked up to. It could represent church. It could represent I'm hearing symbols of authority, authority figures in your life. You know, the people who make the rules. It can be like the government, church, state, you know, parents, ancestors. It's the rules, it's tradition, it's culture, it's you know, what the right and wrongs that you're brought up with, that can change, right? Tradition is transitory. Tradition is something that can be modified. I did a course. I don't know why I need to get the book. Just give me a second. Can't quite find what I'm looking for, but this is one of my workbooks from uni, Tradition and Dissent. I hope the Open University don't mind me kind of flashing that. I'm technically promoting them. So I did this whole module on tradition and dissent, and there was something in there about the how what we think of as tradition doesn't actually last that long, because if it doesn't modify, it doesn't keep up with the needs of the society. So tradition actually tends to only last in one specific form for maybe 2 or 3 generations before it's actually modified again. So you can think of how music modifies, fashion modifies. It's the same with tradition and traditional beliefs. Some things are passed down, but when they stop working, they get modified. You could think about how the current Pope is seen as quite progressive. He, you know, you may have different, you know, we all have different opinions on religion, but you could see him as being a little bit more open to the way that people are, you know, in our modern society. So things aren't fixed. If they are fixed, they die out. They are usurped by things that suit society better. So here somebody has absolutely been looking at things from a very different angle, looking at traditional belief systems, the way that you were raised, the thoughts and opinions that were implanted in your mind at an early age, you know, what you were told was right and wrong. Really looking at all these things and questioning it. I kind of stumbled across Plato and Socrates in that book as I was flicking through. So maybe you've been looking into the philosophies of Plato, or, you know, the thoughts of Socrates, and particularly like that kind of Socratic method of question, keep questioning these things, and eventually that's going to allow you to really look at them from all different angles and really question your own beliefs and why you believe them. Feel like somebody's been doing that, whether this is you or somebody around you. Maybe you've been looking at the you know, what you were taught by this person. So it feels like looking at something from a different angle, and the process of doing this has taken you perhaps to a very painful place mentally. This is tying in with this kind of desert card to me. So there can be a feeling of as you break the chains, as you break away from tradition, and you know, the things that don't work for you any longer, they no longer fit. You've seen outside of the box, and it's given you a new perspective on this, whether this is you or somebody else. So there's this feeling of displacement that comes with that, the feeling of oh my goodness, suddenly all these rules don't apply to me anymore. They're showing me there's a film called Paul, which is about an alien who's been on Earth for a long time, and he kind of meets these 2 guys who are kind of like traveling around America in a camper van, and these 3 characters, they kind of encounter this girl who's been raised in a very small bubble, in a very small box, by her own father. She has not had much contact with the outside world. She's overprotected, right? And she's been brought up with a very, very traditional belief system. And you know, obviously she meets this alien, and it's kind of shocking to her. She doesn't know who she is anymore. Everything's changed for her. So they're showing me that scene. I don't know if you want to watch that movie, Paul. I think it's brilliant. I love the movies by, you know, the Cornetto movies, and it's funny, we're back to Cornetto. back to Cornetto. It's called the Cornetto trilogy. I don't know if Paul's one of them, but it's by the same actors. So yeah, this feeling of kind of like everything's up in the air, all the rules don't apply anymore, feeling displaced, having this kind of feeling of loss of identity, of the rug being pulled out from under your feet. I don't know who I am anymore. I've always defined myself by these rules, and then suddenly those rules don't seem as important as they used to be. So who am I? Who am I? They show me Jackie Chan. It's a painful experience mentally when these traditional beliefs, that self-identity is suddenly called into question. Very painful. This is literally depression, anxiety, stress. Somebody's been through this. I feel like they're coming out of this, right? The steps to come out of this. They've been through that dark place. So now the healing. Look here with the Four of Swords. This is mental healing. This is taking a time out to kind of really reflect on what happened, to heal from it, to figure out what you're going to do next. Is this element of the sacrificial lamb? Again, that feels like a religious thing that I'm not quite sure of. You may feel like, I don't think it's this dramatic, but they're telling me excommunicated. So you may feel like I'm not seeing whether, again, this could be you or the relationship with this person, or something that this person's going through separately to you, but it feels like it's connected to your experience. So it's almost like it feels like somebody's being told, if you do this, then the door is shut to you. You're no longer welcome here. We're going to make an example of you. So the choice seems to be, and I think you've made your choice, do you stay in a culture that you no longer fit in with, like you're a jigsaw piece from a different puzzle? Or do you walk away knowing that the door is going to slam shut and you cannot go back? You cannot force that puzzle back into that puzzle piece back into that puzzle. I think you've made your decision with the transformation here, with the breaking of the chains. The Hierophant and the Devil look an awful lot alike when the people who are meant to guide us are actually keeping us chained and keeping us trapped and keeping us small and stopping us from expressing who we really are. I would say that these two cards can very easily be switched around. And you have to do that Socratic thinking to work out, are people abusing their power? Are people acting like they're good to keep control? Are these people are telling me bad actually encouraging my soul to be free? Who is the bad guy here? I feel like you've been doing that. Who's the bad guy? And I think it's been torturous trying to figure out the answer to that. But when you do the soul searching, when you heal, I think it's going to become quite clear. I think you've been working out what it means to be good and what it means to be bad. And there's Grandad David. I'll be back in a minute. Cappy, anything that happens in a reading is part of a reading. Fox cookie, we're at the coffee shop. Do you want a cookie? Grandad David has just given me a bit of an answer, a bit of an explanation for your reading. So, again, I was talking about how tradition changes very quickly, but how quickly new traditions can be made. Because it's funny, I used to always do your readings on a Thursday. So the ones of you that have been with me for a while, that we very quickly form these traditions. I'm thinking of how I always have my my big cup of coffee. We have coffee with Cappy. We do have Cappy, I want you to be happy. We have the beep beep truck, which actually came past just as I was setting up your reading. I was mad that it wasn't on camera. It did come through for the other Cappy reading, I think, and it wasn't even on a Thursday. Grandad David coming past and interrupting the reading and shouting beep beep, and me having to pause and wanting to pause and go and see him. These traditions that we have just on this channel, just that have developed over the course of the year where I've been doing these readings with you, this is how quickly new traditions can form. So for some of you, I feel like, it could be that somebody's leaving your life, you're losing someone from your life. It could be that you're changing job. It could be that there's some sort of change in your life where there's a loss of a sense of stability, a sense of tradition. And it could just be traditions between you and this person, right? And I want to say to you, don't worry so much, because wherever you're going, you can very quickly form new traditions. You can, and it could be something to do with, I think you keep getting through this thing about Aeneas, right, with the carrying his father on his back and holding his son by his hand. You have the right to modify tradition. You have the right to reject the things that no longer work for you. To veto the traditions that you don't want to put on your own children, and to implement new traditions that are just between you and them, that are positive, that are like this kind of emotion, and positive and confidence building, and reinforce their sense of their own the video cut out, the sense those feelings of of self-worth and confidence, and how brilliant they are for being a unique person. And they can go forward and put those new traditions, they can carry those throughout their life and hand those down to their own children. So tradition can be made and broken, I think, is what is trying to come through here. There is this thing about like the sacrificial lamb, though, because the hangman is self-sacrifice. I feel like someone's no longer sacrificing themselves, no longer sacrificing themselves because of some kind of cultural or traditional belief here that doesn't work for them, and it keeps them trapped and chained and small. No more. Like the chains are broken. Feels like coming into self-empowerment. No more fighting, no more arguing, no more competition, no more conflict. Leaving that behind. Something here where somebody's not using their intuition, though. They're not connected to that emotional intelligence. Or it could be that you're walking away from a Scorpio. This is Taurus, by the way. Sometimes it's Capricorn for me, Aquarius. These cards could... I don't really put any sign particularly on any of these cards, but I'm just going to quickly ask, why is the High Priestess in reverse? Why is deception? No more deception, no more secrets. There you go. There you go. I'm going to pause. I'm going to eat my cookie. I'm going to have a drink of water, and we'll find out what the Knight of Pentacles is doing here. This is going to be the longest reading in history, but has to be done. It feels like it's a huge pivotal moment in somebody's life. It's pretty much as soon as I paused, I started channeling She's Badass by NERD. I can't think of the title of the song, but it's She's bad, bad, badass. She's bad, bad, badass. I'll look up the proper name of the song, and it'll be down in that description box below with all your songs. It made me think of, in connection to your reading, I think I've always had, quite a strong moral compass. Again, this kind of like Platonic education of being able to think for yourself, sort of Piaget, Plato, Socrates, looking at things from different angles, analysing, comparing and contrasting either moral beliefs or situations against others, and saying, is this good or is this bad? I'm making up my mind on what is good and bad. I'm not being told what is good and bad by other people. So again, it could be in terms of sexuality, of like, the Bible says that you can't be gay. Why not? If they're not hurting anybody, like, if they're not hurting anybody, sorry. Why can't people love who they want to love? Love is a positive emotion. Love is the priority for me as somebody with like a lot of Libra Venus in the chart. Why does it matter to anyone else who somebody loves? So there's this thing with my own belief system where I've been blessed with quite an analytical brain and an education that encourages independent thought. And I think somebody else has not had that same benefit. Somebody else has been brought up with very strict rules and traditions. And Capricorn, this could be you, because you Capricorn tends to like rules and traditions. You know, they like the structure, they like the form, they like to have the rule book, you know, so that they can win. This is like, no, this is no longer working for me. I'm going to rewrite the rule book. This is this kind of energy. So I feel like somebody's actually almost been wearing a mask without realizing it. Almost been, you know, perhaps they've been in situations where their own moral compass is screaming to them and saying, this does not suit your soul. This is not who you are. But they've ignored that because culture, the people around them, the people that they've been engaging with, or, you know, the society around them has been telling them to act and behave a certain way because that's how you win the game of life. And you're realizing that's not how you win the game of life. It might get you success, but ultimately when your soul is weighed against that feather of Anubis, right, that the feather of man, is it going to be light, or have you done things that don't match your own moral compass, you know? Very interesting reading. I'm glad that I'm so glad that I chose to redo this reading, because the other reading I think was getting the point across, but not quite to this extent. Right, okay, Knight of Coins. Who is this? Could be a girl, because I'm getting she's badass, right? Somebody, maybe a Virgo. Very dependable. Okay, so to show me Gemini, Virgo, Libra. I want to know which way these are going. Which way? That badass song. Something going on that moves me. What am I supposed to do? Sorry, they were just playing that bit for me. This person has their defenses down. They are not trying to get the higher ground. They are approachable. This person knows how to make themselves happy. There's wish fulfillment here. There's happiness. There's abundance. This person gets success because they take slow and steady steps towards what they want. And they're not defensive about it. They're moving. They are doing whatever they're doing it because it makes them happy, because it speaks to their inner soul. They have all the tools they need to do whatever it is that they're doing. They are powerful manifestors. They know what they want. They know where their abundance lies. They're making steady progress towards it. Absolutely lighting the way through the dark. Focused on their dreams. They have all the skills, all the knowledge, all the passion, and all the emotional intelligence, the intuition to get what they want. And they're looking at justice. They want justice. They want the karmic balance. They want the yin yang. They want fairness. They want equality. They believe in the law. Look at how the cats have their tails crossed. I love this card. They want fairness. They want equality. A lot of cats. Okay, I like that person. Simple. You know, that King of Pentacles energy, pretty straightforward there. Yeah. They know what they're doing, and they're doing it, and they're doing it in a very calm and patient way over time. What's more to say? I think you could probably perhaps learn something from that person. Perhaps you have Virgo in your chart. Yeah, pretty confident in what they want and where they're going and what they're doing. Thankfully, a lot less complicated and wordy than the Hangman in reverse. King of Wands, Indiana Jones. It belongs in a museum. Immediately got, climb every mountain, swim every sea. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. I don't know what that song is or who sings it. I'm every woman. I'm confident, know where they're going, where they're heading, willing to work as part of a team, willing to put the effort in. Could be somebody who you work with who is very creative, bit of a visionary, some kind of leader, magnetic, you know, they find it easy to convince people of what they want and what they need. working with this person, as I say, could be a creative or some kind of supervisor, leader. It feels like expedition. It feels like this person's leading people somewhere in terms of work. There's collaboration there. There's teamwork to achieve something. Bit worried about this deception energy, and it's verified by King of Wands, King of Wands. So I'm going to ask what this deception is. This is the thief in the night card. It's somebody who steals swords from a battlefield so that they can't be used to harm anyone the next day. So there is deception, but it's normally for a good purpose. This sneaky fox energy here seems to be taking a sword for themselves or hiding a sword. There's hidden communication, hidden plan, hidden agenda. But here's the action and communication. So it feels like, I don't know if it was in the Cappy reading, someone else had something similar where it's like the universe was taking weapons from someone and giving it to somebody else, like a marginalized society, almost a marginalized group, and the weapons were thoughts and communication, because it was swords. So it feels like a similar message where there is a bit of sneaking around. It's almost like if there was a war, right, people would send secret messages for a good reason. So there's deception for a good reason, it feels like. So this person's hiding a sword, a truth. It's that Ace of Swords again, right? It's the truth, it's the communication, it's the action. But then it's going into the Knight of Swords, which is somebody who takes fast action, rapid action, fast communication. They deliver news. So there's something coming here, but it's the way that it's coming is being a bit sneaky. But all of a sudden, it's like while it's being hidden now, it will be utilized in the future, and it'll be fast. I don't know what that means, but maybe you do. Maybe you know exactly who this person is. Back to the King of Wands. Father of Wands could again be a father figure. Again, leadership. The snake symbolizes that yang energy of you had the snake. So is this the person stopping you from communicating and taking action? Because they're showing us the snake. Something connected to you about, that timing of you, like you're not being ready to spread your wings quite yet. So there's some kind of, either you were restricting yourself or someone else was restricting you in terms of communicating something. Feels like something to do with timing. Tell me about the snake. Oh yeah, it's a secret. It's a secret, but the secret is this is somebody who's showing up as your Two of Cups, or somebody who knows who their Two of Cups is. This is a Two of Cups situation. That one that they're holding is actually a rose. I just heard Romeo and Juliet. Okay, so it's passion. It is passion. Somebody here is very sexually attracted to somebody. Very passionate about somebody. It's I would say it's looking romantic. You are showing with the Lovers card here, but it could be a very intense friendship. You had the Two of Cups in that other reading that I wasn't going to put up. If you are confused about this, I don't think you need to be confused about this. Again, with this shedding of the skin energy, I'm hearing the big reveal. The big reveal of feelings, the big reveal of passions. Two people who are equals. You're both showing as kings, right? Weren't you showing as a king before, like the King of Cups? And this is the King of Wands. This is emotion and passion coming together to make steam. 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 But it's a secret. Feels like it's not always going to be a secret. This is knowledge, action, communication. Somebody's walking away from something and not looking back. It's like whatever this person's emotionally going away from, it's broken. It can't be repaired. There's nothing left there. It's like the shadow of the mountain though, right? The shadow of the mountain. There's nothing, they're going up the mountain because there's nothing left at the bottom of the mountain. Explain, oh, hello. Explain it. Oh yeah, no go, whatever this is, they're going. Like absolutely, it could be a painful ending. Again, this is such a horrible image. I'm sorry, I'm going to show it you, but it's not very nice. It's normally like the Caesar card stabbed in the back. There's nothing that can be salvaged from this situation. Something's ending here for this person, and they are not going back. Like there's something that this person is done with. They have completely emotionally removed themselves from it. What is this person walking away from? Heartache in reverse. No longer feeling the pain of something. No longer is their heart bound to something that was painful. They've emotionally distanced themselves from it. This is like no heartache here. Whatever they're leaving behind, I think it's caused them a lot of heartache. It's been quite painful for them, but they're not suffering that any longer. So this is, again, doing the healing, mentally thinking things through. Explain why this card is here, please. Again, got this secretive energy. Nine of Pentacles. This person wants to be more self-sufficient. They want to be independent. They want to feel like they're free. You know, they're not codependent on anything here. There is a sense of this person really valuing their independent spirit, their ability to move quickly, to take action when they want to not feel like they are burdened by responsibilities. Yeah, it's self-care as well, looking after yourself, looking really good, you know, investing in yourself. Really nice card. It's the Garden and the Gate as well. The Garden and the Gate is being somewhere where you're actually quite comfortable. You know, you could have, you know, roof over your head, food on the table, but you know there's more out there. You know that there's things that are out there to explore. Got a secretive energy again in regards to the Daughter of Cups, justice again, and this hidden, I don't know why I'm saying hidden, this mental anxiety. I feel like somebody's walking away from whatever they've, again, this sense of healing from this very painful thought process. This rainbow here as well, lovely. Daughter of Cups, could be some sort of apology here. There's a naivety in terms of emotion, perhaps feeling a bit, if this person hasn't had much love in their life, when love comes into their life, it's a little bit like, I don't know what to do with this. How do I handle this? How do I handle this love? How do I handle these feelings? So this person could seem very confident, but actually be quite insecure emotionally. It could be that they were raised by very strict parents. There's you know, no love there. You know, or there was love there, but it wasn't an affectionate relationship, perhaps. So it's like, it's just giving me the feeling of like, what do I do with these feelings? What do I do with these feelings? Justice card again, equality, yin yang, balance, fairness, but all this anxiety. So I don't know, make of all that what you will. There's quite a lot going on there, and it leads to the Ten of Pentacles, which guys, Ten of Pentacles is sharing it, right? It could be somebody who valued their freedom in the past, but they're ready to settle down. You know, the King of Wands is somebody who typically has been the Knight of Wands in the past, that player energy. No, I don't like to use the word player. I see it more as experimental, figuring out what they like, figuring out who they like, what speaks to them, what they're passionate about, what makes them feel bored. So there's this experimental energy that comes with that Knight of Wands. But, you know, as you mature, as you figure out what you do and don't want, you get more fixed, you know. So yeah, it could be, I know what I want now, and I'm ready to, you know, give my single life, put my single life behind me and settle down with somebody. It could be. Look at that Father of Swords and the Sun there. So absolutely getting a handle on that communication, right? It's like, it feels like settling down. Here's the big moment, and then it settles into look at the rainbow again, like this peaceful truth, this, you know, normally the Father of Swords has the sword down because they are restricting their own communication. They only say what is necessary to say, and they're very logical. They're a thinker, right? Strategist, thinker. Here this person is proudly speaking their truth in a very very firm way. So it goes from this moment of like, oh my God, I'm saying it, it's happening, I'm doing it, to I'm now confident with my truth. And then there's the freedom, there's the sunshine, there's the loyalty, there's the clarity, there's the happily ever after. Everything's out in the open. The sun's here. You can be yourself. You can speak your truth. Huge amount of Leo in this reading, by the way. All right, lovely. Really enjoyed doing this reading for you. Yeah, conflict is being left behind there. This was just on the underline, it was reversed, so conflict being left behind like we saw before, and then this Nine of Wands energy, ascension, it's been which leads to inner happiness, the world, completion. Stuck, but then off you go with your lover. It's like this half moon energy seems to be something for you as well. I don't know what this is. Look, it's kind of like horned moon, crescent moon. I don't know if that's some kind of symbology for you or something, but my God, what a brilliant reading. So happy I redid it, because it felt like there was something unsaid, or something I'd missed, or something that wasn't quite right. Oh my God. You keep getting this, Capricorn. You're being the pathfinder, right? You're paving the way for others to follow. Anything else, please? They're saying leave it there. I'm not even looking at the underlying. Leave it there. This is what they're communicating to you. This is the message, Capricorn. It keeps coming through for you. Oh, I just heard. It's how I felt for you. So I don't know if it's my own thoughts, or if it's, but it felt like it was being put on me. I just heard, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. It feels like it's one of your ancestors. And I don't say that like, I don't say that to upset you or to try and make out like, oh, I'm a psychic medium, I get communication and messages from the dead. I don't know why. I don't know where these messages come from, why these thoughts come into my head. They don't feel like my own. There's a differentiation with me from what is my own thoughts and what is put into my head. So I don't want to, take that with a pinch of salt, very, very clearly take it with a pinch of salt, because I don't want to be like, I definitely do not want to exploit anyone. I don't want to kind of exploit anyone emotionally and be like, I'm getting messages from your ancestors, if I'm not genuinely feeling it, but I am feeling it. That felt like that was somebody coming in and saying, I'm so proud of you. It could be like some kind of grandparent figure. It could be that stags are symbolic somehow to you. I'm really noticing the feathers as well that represent freedom. Please take it with a pinch of salt, because like I say, it was like, it felt like it was my feeling, but it felt like I was feeling that because it was being put on me. So it could have come from me. I feel like it was a message that was put on me. Like I suddenly was in somebody else's energy, like when I do a reading, and like when I'm going to do a Taurus reading and I suddenly get really organised, and then I do a Gemini reading and I'm a hot mess again. Yeah, it felt like there was an energy that came in there with that. Oh, Cappy. Whether or not you have... I'm uncomfortable with it because I don't want to be like seeming to exploit anyone, I don't want to be like emotionally manipulating anyone or anything there. Okay. Whether or not you have set your intention to lead, you may have found yourself suddenly called to step up to the forefront of your life. Stag Spirit is a reminder that now is the time to heed the call to be sure, strong, and compassionate. Others will look to you, and you have it within you to see through the eyes of Stag Spirit and walk with confidence as you take on the responsibilities that are yours. Now, and model integrity in all that you do and in all your relationships. Be willing to see the best in others so that your compassionate heart keeps you on the right path. Stag Spirit wants you to know that your responsibilities now are to yourself too, for you are learning and developing new skills. The best in you is coming into view as you step forward with strength, knowing that Spirit supports you as you compassionately take the lead. Compassion keeps coming through, right? And integrity. You are a model for transformation now, sharing your experience, strength and hope with others so that they may grow and discover their best selves too. What a gift you are. You are the gift. Stay humble though. Don't let that, whatever that Leo business is, don't let that ego get the better of you now. Stay humble and authentic, really important, right? And walk your talk. For this is how a wise leader leads. I get this a lot for you. It feels like you've got some sort of purpose here. You get this all the time. It's like you've got something to do. It does involve taking the lead. It does involve being confident or learning how to be confident in and really being in your own skin and authentic. You keep getting those words, those like old Roman words and Roman values and things through, like the Aeneas things and the do you know, the words have completely gone out of my head now. There's words that mean like credit, words that mean like integrity and authenticity and credibility keep on coming through for you. Those like Roman values. So again, very traditional. So I feel like you're modifying tradition, and this keeps coming through for you again and again and again. And I think it's scary for you. I think it's scary for you because I think you are transforming from almost like two completely different characters. You know, the person who was told who to be and then the person who you authentically are. But I think you've perhaps experienced moments in your life where people have made fun of you for who you authentically are. You know, when you've tried to reveal that, perhaps as a child in high school, where quite frankly everybody in high school is horrible, don't worry about it, you know. They're all just dealing with their own stuff and they take it out on others. So don't look back in anger. It's just kids. It's just kids. So and it doesn't matter. The thing is, they're giving me Stonewall as well. The key message is, it doesn't matter ultimately what people think of you, what society thinks of you, what people say about you, the people who judge you. Let he without sin cast the first stone, right? You're focused on your ascension. You're focused on what happens to you when you have to answer, you know, when you have to answer to the higher powers about, were you a good person? Did you learn the lessons you were sent to learn? Is your soul as light as a feather? So you have to be, you're on your own soul journey here. You have to be, look at this, you have to be authentic and truthful and honest, if not with others, at least with yourself. And everything you do needs to come from that place, that voice within. Christina Aguilera now. And you can be confident when you know who you are. Like, this sword is like representing your soul now to me, like your soul colors, similar to Libra with that diamond heart. It's like when you're authentic, when you know who you are, when you know what your truth is, then you can face the whole world. You can face anyone, because that's true confidence, right? True confidence is knowing who you are, knowing what's right and wrong for you, not allowing yourself to be swayed. Not allowing yourself to be swayed by me either. You had that reading a while back that was like, stop watching my readings. You have to know, it has to come from you. Like, stop. It was like Capricorn had suddenly gone really impressionable, and they were listening to everybody else's voices around them, but not themselves. This is the light within, right? This is your connection to higher powers, your connection to God, your inner voice of who you are. And I think, Capricorn, who you are is very good. Very good. Advice. I'm going to run out of space. No way as well. I ran out of space, so you're not going to see this, but I swear I'm not setting it up. You got your advice. You got your advice. So I guess I meant to show you owl spirit. Look, the owl's back. Look at that. You see clearly now. You've got that knowledge, that inner knowledge. I think you are still almost like trying on those shoes, right? Almost, you know, preparing to spread your wings, not quite being ready yet. It still feels like this is new to you. It's like Leo energy. It's like this is new to you. It's like suddenly realizing, oh my God, I've always seen myself as passive, but I actually am a leader. I am in control of my own life. I am confident. I like who I am. When I actually look at myself, when I look at my soul, and I take away the guilt or the feelings of inadequacy, you know, the things that are like, you know, that we're dealing with emotionally when we do that shadow work. It's like when I forgive myself for that, when I realize that it was conditional, and I actually look at my authentic soul, my own true thoughts, I like myself. And the only person who should really matter, the only person who I should care about, who judges me, is myself. I think you've done the deep dive. Oh, love it. Oh, it keeps on going. I love the mouse. Oh, like, I love it. Time for a deep dive. You are never alone. Tend to the small things. Reclaim your power. Time for a beginner's mind. Like the butterfly. Transformation is beautiful. The horse is back. Freedom is yours. Truth transcends illusion. Learn from the past. Take a time out. I'm going to stop there. Take a time out is like stop going. Stop going with all these bloody animals. Like, it's like all the animals that have been coming through are suddenly all here supporting you. It's like, you're back to being Dr. Dolittle. Weren't you Dr. Dolittle for a while? Right, Cappy. I'm going to leave it there. When I finish this reading, I can't believe, Capricorn, if you're still with me at this point, thank you, Cappy. I know that you're busy people. I know you've got stuff to do. Like, I know that your time is precious. Like, I see all those burdens and responsibilities. I know your time is precious. So if you've watched the whole of this reading, and if you've gone and watched that other reading as well that went up, like, thank you. I'm legitimately honoured. Have another cookie. Yeah, leave me a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave me a comment if anything particular resonated. Love to hear it. If it's not your reading, it's just not your reading. Please do use your own intuition to know which messages are for you and which are not. Please use your intuition to know when it's the right time for you to move and do this big reveal. It has to feel right for you. It has to come from your intuition, right? If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Wait until that moment comes, that window of opportunity where you suddenly go, this is it, this is the moment. Use your intuition and your judgment to know when that is right for you. Those of you who are coming in as stealth watchers, and I know there's a few of you, I really appreciate you making it to the end of this video. It's actually, those watch hours actually really help me out, so thank you so much for that. And I appreciate that not everybody wants to make it known that they're watching these videos, so really almost like especially appreciate you guys, right? When I finish this reading, I'm going to randomize 2 more songs for you. I have to do it off camera. My tablet broke. You're just going to have to trust me on this, right? But again, use your intuition. If it feels like it's for you, then it's for you. If not, then it could just be a song for somebody else. But whatever comes through, I'm going to make a note of it down there in that description box with all the other songs that have come through for your reading. And the first song that I'm going to randomize, so the second to last song for you, is going to be what the universe thinks you need to hear right now. So it could be something that gives you a bit of a light bulb moment, could be a bit of a slap and a bit of a face reality here. It could just be one line, one word, one image from the music video that really speaks to you and makes you have an aha moment. The very last song, so the second song I'm going to randomize for you, the last song on that list, is going to be your advice song, advice from the universe, what the universe thinks you should know about what steps to take next. So, and again, whatever that provokes in you, whether that's like, oh my god, that song makes me think of a person I hate, there's something to that, explore that a little, or you know, you'll know what to do, right? You'll know what that provokes in you, you'll know what to do. And you know, it could be a song that makes you think of a certain person, again, a lyric, one thing that stands out to you and you think, that's it, that's my advice. Go and have a look at those if you want to. See what speaks to you. And Cappy, best of luck. I've loved your readings, absolutely loved your journey, and it has come from a very dark place. I remember when you were deep in that dark cave, and there was that little firefly spirit that was guiding you through the darkness in those early stages. So I can see that you've been, Cappies, you've really been through the mill. It's that Saturn bumming around in your sign, being that tough love energy, teaching you those tough lessons. So I know that it's been a long journey for you. I know that every time you've picked yourself up, you've fallen back onto your knees. There's been something new that you've had to deal with. I know that this has been the story of your life for the past few years, but you're doing it. You're doing that shadow work. You're doing what the universe is trying to get you to do. And I can see that you're getting so close now to to really understanding what this was all about, and to really standing in your own authenticity, knowing right from wrong, you know, your own right from wrong. And you're really close now to getting to this sun energy. I know it's been a challenge, but I can it's like you're so strong now because of it. And I know you're in that vulnerable, like, just revealing stage, but like your soul is strong. You know, you can be emotionally vulnerable but still have a strong soul, and that's the point of it all, really, isn't it? All right, I'm going. Do take care. Best of luck. Keep your chin up, Chuck, chin up, Cappy. And remember, Cappy, 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 I want you to be happy, and you're on your way. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to go and do the things that you need to do. I'm going to go and do some laundry. Bye, Cappy. Do you want to say hi?
Hello.
So my daughter's just come in when I finished the reading to tell me, my daughter's just come in to tell me that she's watching a Jacksepticeye video on Detroit Becomes Human, and she's talking.
One of my favourite games, probably.
It's such a good game.
Never played it.
And she said a lot, something that Jacksepticeye said about.
Well, it wasn't Jacksepticeye.
You're gonna have to
it's one of the characters said.
One of the characters said it.
Yeah, Marcus.
Ah, right. Yeah. So, what happened was, it's without going too much into it, it's a computer game where there's androids and humans, and the police officer shoots the android, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a choice point where it's like, do we shoot this police officer back? And Marcus says,
an eye for an eye and the world goes blind.
And I was talking about vengeance, Cappy, and the need to release the need for vengeance. An eye for an eye and the whole world goes blind. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. And you don't look back in anger. So light bulb moment, tower moment, healing, truth, you know, it just felt like it was tying in. Just to let you know as well, I've just randomised you the first song, which is what you need to hear right now. And it was Lotus Flower by Radiohead.
Should I leave?
You can leave if you want.
Love you too. Bye.
Do you want to shout, Cappy, 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 I want you to be happy?
No.
But she does want you to be happy, don't you?
I think so.
So, yeah. Lotus Flower by Radiohead. Again, it's one of those things that kind of means something. It triggers something. It triggers a thought in my own head. And it's one of those that's like, are the people watching this going to believe that is the song that came out? But it is the song that came out. So there you go. I don't know what the next one's going to be. I'm going to go and randomise it for you when I finish listening to that first one. And yeah, take care. Bye.